Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shazune, and welcome back to Prison. I don't remember exactly what this looked like last episode, but we've got a little bit of work done here. This mountain used to come a little bit farther out. Oh, a little bit farther out. We've collected a ton of resources, and the sun is going down, so we're gonna jump on over here. And by resources, I mean a lot of dirt and a lot of cobble. So we started to create, yeah, that's full. A lot of these are getting really, really full. So, but that's good because we're going to need a ton of this cobble. I don't really know how much dirt we're really going to need, but we'll make it work anyways. Let's wait until the sun goes down. I don't think there's anything in here. Is there anything I can smelt, though? Doesn't doesn't really look like it. What's that? Gravel. Doesn't look like any blocks yet. Whoa, hello. So let's go to sleep here. So last episode, I explained to you guys that this series is gonna have a ton of spoilers. Let's talk and work at the same time. This series is gonna have a ton of spoilers because it is all about The Walking Dead. We are rebuilding the prison from either season 4 or season 3, and yeah, so in doing so, we're gonna be talking a lot about The Walking Dead, and that's why I made a crafting bench over here and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and slap that on there. Now, quick question. I don't know if any of you will know this, but where are you all coming from? um, about a week ago, I had 112 subscribers, and now I'm up to 120. Oh, whoops. Oh yeah, I made a butt ton of crafting tables by accident. But where are you guys coming from? Are you just randomly finding my videos in like a recommendation or just one of those sidebars, or what's going on? Because I don't know where you guys are coming from, but trust me, I'm not complaining. I'm very excited that you guys found me and decided to stick around for a little while. But I'm just very curious where you're coming from. So if you know where you came from, leave it down in the comments below. I'm honestly very, very curious, and I'd like to know. So anyway, so last episode, like I said, I was talking about we were talking a little bit about the characters themselves, who I liked, who I didn't like. We talked very briefly on some of the decisions that the characters have had to make in some of the seasons, but I think we're going to talk about, or we're going to at least try to talk about one situation per episode. If you guys have a suggestion from any of the Walking Dead situations that you want to hear my opinion about, then you can go ahead and leave that down in the comment section below. But I was trying to think back to the very beginning, and this isn't the very beginning. Actually, let's talk about the very beginning. I was gonna talk about a different situation, but this one happens first before the one I was gonna talk about. So let's talk about this whole zombie apocalypse and how it even started. So I had mentioned in last episode, if you guys remember, Rick found out about the zombie apocalypse while he was in the hospital after being shot, because he is a cop, and I think they were doing some sort of like the guy was driving, like the criminal or whatever, he was driving and he got into an accident because I think they threw down those spikes to pop his tires, and I believe he got out of the car and then ended up shooting Rick. Could be wrong. I very much could be wrong, but I believe that's what happened. And then Rick ended up going into the hospital, and that's when the zombie apocalypse happened. Now, the situation that we're going to be talking about is his friend Shane, his moral decision to leave Rick behind. Is it moral? Is it immoral? Would you do that? Now, let me explain the situation a little bit more in detail before we talk about whether we do it or not. Because honestly, I'd like to talk about this too, because I'd like to really go deep in thought about whether I do it or not. That way, I have kind of a more open mind when it comes to new characters that we might possibly be seeing in previous episodes and the things they might do. And I just want to be able to keep an open mind for this. But, okay, so Rick ended up in the hospital. The whole zombie apocalypse started. Now, Shane stayed by Rick's side. He did. Even throughout when the zombie apocalypse started to happen, Shane had heard gunshots out in the hallways and looked out to find either the FBI or SWAT or just cops, whatever they were, shooting people. Now, at first, he was horrified because he didn't think anything was wrong with these people. This whole zombie apocalypse thing was new. Nobody really knew what was going on. So he was horrified. He's like, people are just shooting people randomly in the hallways. So he decided that he needed to get Rick out of there. But the only thing was, Rick was attached to, I don't know if it was a life support or not, but he was attached to some sort of machine that was keeping him alive. And it was Shane's decision to either let him stay there and have the possibility of being shot by these FBI or trying to take him off. Which in the beginning, Shane did try to take him off the machines. He was trying to see what they were used for, what exactly were they benefiting Rick for. And he couldn't really take him off the machines. I think one was like a breathing tube or a feeding tube, something along those lines. So Rick was very unresponsive. I don't know if he was in a coma or not. I'm not 100% sure on that. But he was unresponsive. He wasn't responding to Shane's panic, nothing like that. So Shane went ahead and checked Rick's pulse, and he had none. So at that point, it's kind of like, what do you do? Like, you don't want to obviously leave your friend, but if they're dead, you really need to worry about saving yourself now. And that's when the moral comes in. Was it right for him to leave or not? And this is why I went back and forth between Shane, whether liking him or not, because I knew deep down he really was a good guy with good intentions. It's just when things kind of shit the bed, he didn't really make the best decisions. But I feel like the decision to leave Rick at the hospital, although a lot of people say, he should have stayed behind, got him out of there, he had no pulse, which I understand from Shane's point of view. Now, if I was in that situation, I can't say for sure, because I haven't been in this situation, but just from knowing myself, knowing my conscience, knowing my morals, if I was in that situation where, a friend was in the hospital and I was staying by their side and all of a sudden everybody was being shot from outside by these cops and my friend had no pulse, my point of view is, why would I stay there if my friend is already dead? I need to get out there and pretty much save myself, because there is no hope in saving your friend anymore. Now, if there was hope, if he still had a pulse, but he was attached to, life support stuff, I feel like it would be a whole different ball game if Shane had abandoned him at that point. Some people might view that differently. Now, I don't know what I would think about Shane if Rick did still have a pulse and he was just attached to those life supports. You have to imagine that Shane would be in a battle with himself saying, am I going to be the one to kill him if I take off these life supports? Because these cops might not even find him. They might not even bother him because he is in a coma. So, in reality, would I or Shane be the one to murder his friend instead of the cops if I were to take him off that life support? So there's a lot of factors that go into this. There's a lot of small changes that can make the biggest difference in some people's minds. But from my point of view, I think Shane did the right thing. And I was really angry with Lori when she was saying, you left him. I understand where she was coming from. I'd be more than rip shit if somebody had left my husband at the hospital too, while that whole situation was going on. is a whole nother ball game when Shane said that Rick had no pulse. And I feel like Lori should have kind of. Ooh, the sun is already going down. I felt like Lori should kind of have understood that. Yes, she was upset, as any grieving wife would be upset about her husband, and I understood why she took it out on Shane, because he was the reason his body wasn't even with them. But at the same time, it's kind of like it's either me or him, and if he's already gone, my decision is kind of already made for me, for it to be me. If that makes any sense. So I think that was probably one of the very first big decisions that happened in The Walking Dead. I don't know, like Shane is a. I really liked him as a character. I know a lot of people just thought he was obnoxious, which he became very obnoxious. Whoops. Actually, we still have a whole nother day to talk, so I'll bring up a whole nother situation, which I was actually going to talk about first. And it has to do with Shane again, and it has to do with Otis. Now, this situation, if you guys don't remember, Otis is a character who had accidentally shot Carl when he was hunting for that deer. Rick and Carl had found this beautiful buck in the woods, and they were admiring it because it was really like the only life left out in the woods besides other survivors. So they were admiring it, and Carl happened to be standing right behind the deer, and Otis had taken a shot at the deer, not seeing the boy. It went right through the deer and into Carl. Now, whoa, I'm getting some lag. And by some, I mean a lot. What are you doing, game? I'm in the middle of a story. Cut your shit. Are we okay? No? We're not okay yet? Come on, work with me. Work with me. Okay, we're working with me. Okay, not exactly sure where the game cut me off right there. I was getting a lot of lag and thought I was still recording once it fixed itself, but Fraps had stopped recording. But that's okay. We only have one more day to go anyways. So I got a little bit distracted there. Okay, so, oh yeah, I was explaining the situation with Carl. So they had a doctor there who thought he could, save Carl after being shot. But the only thing is they didn't have enough medicine. They didn't have, numbing agent to be able to perform surgery on him. And they needed all that stuff to be able to have him survive and not go into a shock. So in order to get those supplies, they had to go to, I believe it was a high school. I could be wrong, but I thought it was like a gymnasium in there. I probably have to rewatch that episode, but they went somewhere where there was a lot of supplies, and they ended up, Shane and Otis had gone. Shane wanting to help Lori out and saving her son, and Otis because he felt not obligated, but he did feel bad for shooting the boy, so he felt that it was kind of his duty to be able to at least save him. So Otis and Shane went, and then they ended up getting into a situation where they got flooded by zombies. And they managed to get very far outside, but Shane was actually badly hurt. I believe he had jumped out a window and either cracked his ankle or did something to his leg, and it was slowing him down. So Shane thought, kill or be killed. So he ended up shooting Otis in the leg to slow him down even more than Shane was slowed down. And that way the zombies would get distracted by Otis and Shane could escape. I knew this was another situation that had a lot of controversy between whether Shane was right for doing that. And this is one that I go back and forth between. Once again, I don't want to say, it was right or wrong, because I don't know what I'd do in that situation. I don't know what's right or wrong. There's really no right or wrong when it comes to survival. And Shane saw this as another threat to his survival, saying, this situation was much more different than Rick's situation, where Shane had to decide whether to save Rick or not, because Rick already had no pulse when Otis was clearly alive, breathing, and running. And Shane thought, only one of us is going to make it out of here, and I'm going to be the one to make it out of here. I believe they both could have made it if they ran fast enough, but if Shane felt that he was going to be the one to go and he didn't want to leave Lori and Carl alone with Rick, because Shane at this point didn't think Rick was a fit enough father. He didn't want to leave Lori and Carl, so he thought, who is Otis to me? Nobody. Just someone I randomly met who's trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do. But if anybody's going to save Carl, then it's going to be me. So he ended up shooting him in the leg, and he got fed to the zombies while Shane escaped. If it was my son, that's the thing. Carl is not Shane's son. Although Shane viewed him kind of like a son, he still was not his son. And the reason I'm saying, he's not his son is because if it was my kid that was shot and I was the only one, it was either let myself die and let somebody else take care of my kid, or kill somebody else and be able to save my kid and be with my kid. Honestly, I'd probably do the exact same thing as Shane. But that's because it would be my kid. I don't know what I would do if it was someone else's, just that I cared about them. Because it's not technically my duty to, risk my life to save them. I don't know. It depends entirely on the situation. These are very difficult situations to be in. And I feel like no matter what decision Shane had made, he would have gotten a lot of crap for it. But I don't think it was right for the group to turn on him like that and saying, start calling him a monster. Not a monster, but I know people were thinking it, look really down on him. But they do have to understand the situation that they were in. And also, it's very easy to point fingers at somebody when you weren't in that situation. It's very easy to say, I would have done that differently. You shouldn't have done that. That wasn't right. Blah, blah, blah. It's very easy to say that if you're not in that situation at that very second. And it's not one of those situations that you have much time to think about. The zombies are coming. It's either you or him. You need to make your decision in about 0.2 seconds. And I feel like I would have done the exact same thing to Shane. So if we're ever in a zombie apocalypse, don't come with me for a run, because if bad goes to worse, probably gonna kill you. But yeah, so those were two situations I want to kind of talk about today. I thought they were interesting. I thought they were very controversial. I think last episode I talked a little bit about the situation of Carol and her daughter not going to look for her as much as she did. So I'm not, I'm out of a shovel. I'm probably not going to bring up that one again unless you guys want me to go into more detail with that. Let me go ahead and make a shovel. I have been doing a lot of work off camera, which I'm still planning on doing. I am planning on getting diamond tools. I actually was caving for hours yesterday and could not find diamonds anywhere. I mean, you guys would say, you just got to go to this level. You don't understand. I searched everywhere. I could not find diamonds. It was nearly impossible. I don't think today I'll be able to do a lot of off-camera work until I come back from work tonight. So I don't know, maybe next episode this will look exactly the same, or maybe we'll have some better tools. We will see about that. But I know you guys are enjoying the series so far, which I am absolutely appreciating. Again, don't forget to tell me where the hell you're coming from. I don't know. I find it. I don't like talking about subscribers to you guys, because I don't know. That's just kind of a me thing. But it's kind of baffling to me, because I was stuck on a number. I forget what number it was, but I was stuck on that number of subscribers for the longest time. I mean, like a month. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of you come out of nowhere and subscribe. So I just want to know what's going on. I hope you guys are enjoying my channel, my content that's coming up. You'll notice a lot of the times I'll start a series and not finish it. Not with like Minecraft series, but more so like indie game series or little games like that, like Lily Looking Through. And I am full, yep. The reason I stop it is because I'm not enjoying myself. And I'm not one of those people that's gonna play a game just for views or just because people want to see it if I hate it. Because it's just gonna turn into a mess. You guys are gonna be able to tell that I'm not enjoying myself, and that's just not something I want for my channel. So if you see a series end, it's most likely because I don't enjoy it anymore. But with Minecraft, this is a game that I love. It's a game that you can always do different things on. So, something like Candy Craft or this, or even the Walking Dead game I'm playing right now, those aren't gonna end until I finish it because they're great games. They're keeping me entertained. I might slack a little bit in getting the videos out, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna do the videos. That just means either I don't have time or I want to record something else. Actually, today I was going to record a Walking Dead episode, but I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play Prison instead. So, and that's why we're here today. That's why this video is up today. But sun's starting to go down. We can get a little bit more of this out. But you can see how long this has taken, and I'm talking. But I'm working while I'm talking. And I'm doing this completely in survival. I have not cheated. The only time I went into creative was when I needed to find my stuff after I had to kill myself. I had to fly around. And I know there's a cheat or a mod or something that you can put into it for fly, but I just thought it would be much easier just to go into creative. As long as I don't cheat in creative, I don't really care if I have to go fly around. Not while I'm building, though. That's going to be all in survival. But if I need to get from point A to point B fast, then I don't mind jumping on creative real quick and going to do my thing. And my shovel broke. Alright, that's okay. The sun is going down anyways. Let me just go ahead. Eventually, we're going to organize these boxes, but right now, I'm just kind of taking what we have, and we're starting to clear out an area. We still got to push this back more. We got to clear out some of that. I'm trying to make like a big square, basically. But I want a lot of area cleaned out, so we still have a lot to go, but let me just go ahead and dump my stuff. Dump it, dump it, dump it. Let's get rid of all this real quick. Actually, take that. Actually, let's do something real quick before the sun goes down. If the sun goes down, that's okay. I'll just whoops. I'll just sleep it off real quick. But crapper. I only have that much iron. I know there's some of the iron over. We'll just save it for later. Okay. I did want to grab these, however, and I want to grab some of these real quick. I just want to build off a little bit more. Bring this over here, and then boop, 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 boop. Oh, and a boop. Okay, so we're starting to get this little situation going. Maybe this can even become a little guardhouse. I don't know. Maybe it was bad placement. I have no idea. But I am going to sleep. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you are looking forward to next episode as we're doing a little bit more terraforming. We'll see how much work I get done off camera. But anyways, guys, thank you again so much for watching as usual. And I will see you guys next time.